Hey there, everybody. We are playing the 2016 Mets replay. We are at game 99. It's going to be Jamie Garcia. Jamie Garcia was 10 and 13 for the Cards, St. Louis Cardinals, at Citi Field in Flushing, Queens. And he had a 4.67 ERA, 30 starts. And he's going to be facing Big Sexy, the 43-year-old Mets pitcher who had a 15 and 8 record and a 3.43 ERA and 33 starts. And we're about to get underway. It's going to be Garcia, Greg Garcia, the second baseman, Aldemis Diaz, and then Matt Holliday, the left fielder, batting third for the Cards. So we're going to get started. And there we go, play ball. And it's a 5-4. It's off Bartolo's card. It's a ground ball, shortstop X. And that should be an out. A 2. And Cabrera fields the ball and throws it over the first baseman's head for a 2-base error on Asdrubal Cabrera, the normally shorthanded shortstop for the Mets. So Greg Garcia is on at second base. We're in the top of the first, playing game number 99 of our replay. Keeping stats for 4 or 5 players. Say 1-5 off Aldemis. 1-5 is a fly ball lifted to center field. In comes the center fielder Lagares. He's there, 1 away. Next is Matt Holliday. Matt Holliday batted .246 with 20 home runs. Say 4-8, and that's lined base hit for Holliday. And they're going to wave Garcia around. And Garcia's safe at home. Throw not in time, not close. So it's an RBI single and an unearned run against Cologne here in the first inning. Next is going to be Jed Jerko. Jerko had 400 at bats, batted .243, but hit 30 home runs. And that's a 6-12. That's a fly ball lifted to deep right field. Back goes the right fielder Deaza to the track and makes a nice running catch for out number 2. Next is Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham batted .226 with 9 home runs and 150 at bats. So had he had 600 at bats, he would have had 36 home runs. Not too shabby. 6-11. That's a weak ground ball right at the first baseman, Loney. So it's 3 unassisted for the third out, but the Cards pick up 1 run on 1 hit and an error. And we go to the bottom of the first. Mets coming to bat. Score is 1-0 Cards. Leading off for the Mets, Juan Lagares. Here's the pitch from Garcia. And it's a 5-7. And that's a split die single double. And that's going to be lined into the gap. And Lagares, around first, goes into second. The throw not in time. So a double for Lagares. Leadoff double for Juan Lagares. And it's going to be Asdrubal Cabrera. 5-8. And that's going to be a fly ball lifted to left field. Left fielder Holliday measures it 1 away. Next is Yoenis Cespedes. It's a 2-4. That's lifted to deep center field. Back goes the center field Pham back to the track. He looks up, and that ball's out of here. 2-run home run for Yoenis Cespedes. And Garcia wishes he had that pitch back. Let's take a 2-1 lead now here in the bottom of the first off of Yoenis Cespedes' home run to center field. And it's going to be Wilmer Flores. It's a 4-10. 4-10. That's a hard hit ground ball right at Diaz. It's a 19. It's probably a roll again. And it is 14. That's going to be a ball that goes flying over the first baseman's head. So it's going to be a two-base error on the shortstop. Both shortstops with two base errors now on throws, errant throws over the first baseman's head. And it's going to be Wilmer Flores is at second. There's one out here. The Mets are up 2-1 in the bottom of the first. Mets came back from a 1-0 deficit with a two-run homer by Yoenis Cespedes. And it's going to be Neil Walker. 3-12. And that's lined, caught by the second baseman. That's Wong. 2-away now. James Loney. It's a 5-11 off Garcia's card. A 5-11 is a fly ball left field X. Holiday's in left. He is a 4. Doesn't have much range out there, that's for sure. Not with a 4, and that's a 10, and that's going to drop in there. And hustling around first is Loney, and scoring is Flores, and Loney's in at second with a stand-up double. A ball that Holiday just did not have the range to get to. Drops in the right left field corner. Here's the pitch to d'Arnaud. It's a 3-6 off d'Arnaud's card. Mets are up 3-1 now. 3-6, and that's a split die. And that's going to be lined base hit, and around third comes Loney to score. RBI single for Travis d'Arnaud. And it's a 4-1 game now. And Deaza's next, Alejandro Deaza. 2 outs. Mets are up 4-1. It's a 3-7. A 3-7 is a swing and a miss. Deaza goes down on strikes for the third out. But the Mets do some damage. They get 4 runs on 4 hits here in the bottom of the first, and they go up by a score of 4-1. We go to top of the second. Top of the second is going to be Randall Grichuk. Grichuk is with Toronto now. Let's see, 5-2. And wow. And that's going to be a split die. Split die, and that's going to be in the gap. It's going to be an easy double for Grichuk. So Grichuk doubles leading off the inning against Bart Colon. And it's going to be Colton Wong. A 3-8. A 3-8 is off of Wong's card, a 3-8, and that's a pop-up. And Loney is under it for out number 1. Next is Alberto Rosario, the catcher. And Rosario batted .184 with 0 home runs and 38 at-bats. So I'm surprised I even have his card. I guess he's probably an extra player. I mean, the brunt of the catching was done by Molina. Just not starting today for some reason. And it's 6-10. 6-10 is a fly ball center field. And Mets Lagares over for out number 2. And it's Jaime Garcia, the pitcher. Here's the pitch to Garcia. And that's a 6-8. And that's a pop-up again to the right side. Loney in foul territory, no, back in fair territory, and makes the catch. So the Cards strand 1 at second base. And we go to the bottom of the second, 4-1 Mets. In the bottom of the fourth for the Mets is going to be Colon leading off, and then it's going to be Lagares and Cabrera. So Colon, it's a 3-8, and that's a swing and a miss. There goes Colon's helmet. Not a pretty swing. but the crowd here at Citi Field loves it. Juan Lagares, who doubled in his first at bat, is a 4-7. 4-7 is a split die. 1 to 10 is a hit, and it's a base hit for Juan Lagares. Lagares is 2 for 2 now. Next is going to be Cabrera, Asdrubal Cabrera. That's a 5-8 off of Garcia's card, and that's a fly ball lifted to left. Holiday there. Waits for it. 2 out. And Yoenis Cespedes, it was Cespedes' 2-run homer that put the Mets up 2-1 in that first inning. And that's going to be, we roll that on the other side of the room. And it's going to be a 5-7 off Garcia, and that's going to be a split die. Single double, and that's lined base hit, and to third goes Lagares. At first is Cespedes on that single, and he's 2 for 2 on the day. Wilmer Flores up next. Wilmer Flores reached base on an error, a 2-base error by the shortstop Aldemis, who threw it over the first baseman. Don't know who the first baseman is. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's, that's interesting. Okay, it looks like Wong is playing first base. I'm not sure if it's Wong or Garcia. But anyway, it is what it is. And I don't have the access to the laptop right now because it's being used to play an online game in the other room. All right, so it's first and third. There's 2 outs. Flores is batting. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch from Garcia. It's a 3-10 off Flores' card, and that's popped up to the left side. Over is the third baseman, Jerko, and he squeezes it. So the Mets leave 2 here in the bottom of the second, and they lead it 4-1. We go to the top of the third. It's going to be Greg Garcia. Say 1-7. It's a hard hit ground ball right at the third baseman. Mets third baseman is Flores. Throws him out. Garcia, a 3-5, and that's a ground ball right at Cabrera. Cabrera feels it. 2 away. And Matt Holliday, 2-4, and that's popped up. Again, Flores under it on the left side. Out number 3, 3 up, 3 down. Go to the bottom of the third. Leading off is going to be Neil Walker. That's a 4-11. 4-11 is a ground ball right back at Garcia. See if it feels it cleanly. Garcia is a 3. We rolled a 15. And that's booted. Garcia boots it. And Walker is on. So leadoff batter gets on an error, and it's Loney now. Loney is 1 for 1. He doubled and drove in a run in the 4-run first inning. That's a 5-9 off Garcia's card, and that's a swing and a miss. Loney down on strikes for the first out. Next is Travis d'Arnaud. Travis d'Arnaud batted .247 with 4 home runs. It's a 5-8 again. That's a fly ball lifted to left. Holiday squeezes it for the second out. And it's De Aza. De Aza struck out in his first at bat. Here's the pitch from Garcia. It's a 4-7. That's a split die. And that's lined base hit. And they're going to try to score Walker. And he's safe at home. RBI single for De Aza, making it 5-1 now in the bottom of the third. And it's Bartolo Colon coming to the plate. He struck out in the first inning. And that's a 3-2. And that's a fly ball lifted to shallow left field. Coming in is Holiday and makes the catch for the third out. But the Mets pick up 1 run on a hit and an error here in the bottom of the third and lead it 5-1 now. For the Cards, it's going to be Jerko, Pham, and Grichuk. And it's a 3-12, and that's a ground ball right at the second baseman, Walker. That's 1 away. Tommy Pham next. Pitch from Cologne. It's a 6-7, and that's a swing and a miss. First strikeout for Cologne. Hey, man. 5-1, guys. Top of the fourth, 2 outs. And it's Randall Grichuk, who's playing with Toronto now. Hit a home run last weekend against the Yankees. And that's a 6-4 off Cologne's card. And that's lined and caught by Loney playing first base. So it's a line out to the 3 to the first baseman for the third out. 3 up, 3 down for Cologne here in the top of the fourth inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 5-1 Mets. Cespedes hit a 2-run homer, and Loney doubled homer run for some of the Mets runs. It's going to be Juan Lagares, who's actually 2 for 2. He doubled leading off the game and scored, and then he singled in the third inning. Here in the bottom of the fourth, Juan Lagares, 6-4. That's going to be off of Garcia, and that's a ground ball to the second baseman, Garcia. 1 away. Next is Cabrera. Cabrera's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to left. It's a 6-3. That's a fly ball right field X now. And that's Grichuk in right. And that's a 20. That's most likely it's a roll again. Grichuk is a 3 in right. A 3. That's a 20. That is a roll again. My favorite play. I'm rolling 100 times. That's probably another roll again. Oh, great. No, not this time. Okay. It's a ball that Grichuk gets to for out number 2. 2 away. And next is Yoenis Cespedes. Yoenis is 2 for 2. He homered and singled. He's one guy that had a terrible year. He had an injured year in 2017. He played in 81 games, hit 17 home runs. Now you double that, and he would have had 34 home runs. So it's a pretty good season, but he was injured. So his productivity was halved, but he's having a tremendous year so far. He's in 6 games, he has 3 home runs this year. So that's going to be a 4-3 off Garcia's card, and that's going to be ball 4. So he was being very careful with Cespedes. And it's going to be Wilmer Flores now. What's up, Al? How are you, man? And it's 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Mets are up 5-1, and it's Wilmer Flores. Wilmer Flores was signed at 16 years old. He's been with the Mets ever since. There were rumors a couple of years ago that he was going to be traded, and he was out in the field, and the tears were kind of streaming down his face. So he's somewhat beloved here in Citi Field by the Mets fans. So that's going to be a 1-8, and that's lifted to deep center field, and back goes Tommy Pham to the track, to the wall, looks up, and that's out of here. 2-run home run by Wilmer Flores, and that gives the Mets a 7-1 lead. Man, I bet Garcia wishes he had that pitch back. So the Mets lead at 7-1. Wilmer Flores connects. And the crowd loves it. The crowd here at Citi Field, 7-1. And it looks like there's definitely action in the Cardinal bullpen now. And this may be the last batter for Garcia. 2-9, That's going to be off of Walker's card. A 2-9 is a swing and a miss, strike 3 for the third out. And that's strikeout number 4. But the Mets pick up 2 runs on a walk and a home run by Wilmer Flores, and they lead it now 7-1 going to the top of the 5th. In the top of the 5th, it's going to be Colton Wong. And what's amazing here is we got for some reason, oh, it says Wong is at first base. I wrote that in. I don't think I played a first baseman in this game. So we're going to have to put somebody. Wong can play outfield. Okay, let's see if one of our outfielders can play first base. Because that's probably what I did. Let's see. Let's see if one of our outfielders can play first base, and that'll be problem solved. Usually you got an outfielder that can also play first base. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Who can play first base on this team? Matt Holliday. Well, yeah. Okay, we can put Wong in left field and Holliday at first base. So it's been Wong making all those amazing catches. Now, they're both equivalent left fielders, so it's not like the game would have changed any. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to switch that. Holliday goes to first, and Wong goes to left field. Problem solved. All right, so it's top of the 4th. It's Colton Wong against Bartolo Big Sexy Colon, who actually pitched 6 innings the other day for Texas, and I think gave up 1 run. So that was crazy. 45 years old. He's on the verge of breaking multiple records, longevity-type pitching records, and he's still pitching at age 45 with the Texas Rangers. Another, I wonder if he has a start tonight or tomorrow night. But I will be watching all his starts. One of my favorite players, just very entertaining. Okay, so we are in the top of the 5th inning now, and it's Colton Wong. Here's the pitch from Cologne. It's 2-10, and that's lined base hit for Colton Wong, the left fielder for the Cardinals. Yeah. What was the name of the other? There was another guy a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, who was pitching at 48. And I remember he was bouncing around. Every time I'd see him pitch, he wouldn't give up any runs. Barely, he'd give up a hit or so, and he was bouncing around from team to team. He was 48 years old and still pitching. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It must have been around 2012 maybe, 2013, something like that. Actually, 2011 maybe. Years fly by, right? Yes, Jamie Moyer. Yes, thank you, Jerry. Exactly, Jamie Moyer. 1-8 here, and that's popped up to the left side. And that Cabrera, calling everybody off, makes the catch, 1 away. And it's the pitcher spot. We're going to get a pinch hitter for the pitcher now. Hasselbaker is going to come in. He's going to pinch hit. He actually played in this game. And then we're going to get Tui Valala. Tui Valala is going to come in and he's going to pitch. This is the first time in 2016 that the Mets play the Cards. So I had to actually tear all these cards apart to get this team together. So this is the first time in 2016, it's game number 99, that the Mets are playing the St. Louis Cardinals. And all the cards are nice and fresh and untouched by human hands. They're virgin cards, right? They haven't been corrupted or grimied or sullied. And it's hard to... I don't have... why can't I find... Tuivalala? That's my question. When I put them in sleeves, they're easier to handle. And don't have them in sleeves. Oh, by the way, I got a air conditioner, a Honeywell air conditioner for my office here, because it's going to be 86 degrees here in San Antonio tomorrow. So I don't have Tuivalala. I have no idea why I don't have Tuivalala. Don't have any idea why he's not available. He should be available, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it right now. There's another guy. A bunch of guys I don't have. Keith, let me see how many relief pitchers I have. Okay, I got Luke Weaver relieves. As a reliever. Zach Duke, Tyler Lyons, Seth Maness, Jonathan Broxton relief. Kevin Segrist, he's a reliever. Oh, Rosenthal. Okay, Rosenthal's coming in. Problem solved. Let me get a quick, and this is, let me show you. See, here's a card. How pretty it is. Nice and clean. I love that. And I can't destroy it cold in Massachusetts. I know. Tomorrow's going to be freezing in Washington as well. Or tomorrow or Saturday. I'm not sure. But it's going to be some ugly weather out there because I know the Mets are being potential. Cole wants to break Juan Marichau's record. Yes, exactly. Crazy, man. And he's what? He's like 3 wins away, right? Something like that. So anyway, see, I put it into a little sleeve. These sleeves are a pretty good deal. You get, I think you get 500 for about $20. And you know, some guys don't like it, but I like it just because I know the cards are protected and allows me to handle the cards a little bit better. So it's going to be Jeremy Hazelbacker. And he's going to bat against Bartolo Big Sexy Cologne. It's 2-7, and that's a swing and a miss. And Hazelbacker goes down on strikes here for the out number 2. So he comes in for Garcia in the, what is that, bottom of, the top of the 5th. There you go. And so there's 2 outs now, and Wong is still at first, and Garcia coming to the plate. Greg Garcia batted .276 with 3 home runs. He is a utility-type infielder. I really like the guys that can play the infield and the outfield. I think that allows a manager to have so much more, ability to kind of make decisions and move players around, flexibility, if you will. Garcia. Here's the pitch to Garcia. It's going to be off Cologne's card, a 6-3, and that's a ground ball right back at Cologne, who's an outstanding fielding pitcher, and he throws out Garcia for the 3rd out. So after the leadoff single, Cologne gets 3 consecutive cards. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 7-1 Mets. And leading off is going to be James Loney. Loney is 1 for 2. He doubled and struck out against Rosenthal, Trevor Rosenthal. I'm coloring in the boxes right now. Okay, so here goes. Loney, 5'11". That's off Rosenthal's card. 5'11" is a ball 4. It's a walk. So Loney is on with a walk. And it's 7-1. Nobody's going to be stealing here. And it's a 3-8 off Darno's card. And that's popped up to the right side. Second baseman Garcia calling it 1 away. Now it's Diaz's 1 for 2. He's singled in his last at bat. And it's a 5-10, and that's ball 4. Now, looking at Rosenthal's column 5, from 6 all the way to 12, you have walks. So he mustn't have had very good control. He walked 29 batters in 40 innings. So that's almost, wow, that's 75%. So that's basically 30 walks in 40 innings. Not good. Let me put it that way. Not good. That's a lot of walks in 40 innings. All right, so it's first and second, 1 out. Cologne is batting, and we're going to have Cologne bunt. and that's a 4. It's probably a, yep, it's a successful sacrifice. So Cologne bunts Loney over, and De Aza is the second. So second and third, 2 outs. Top of the order, it's going to be Lagares, who's 2 for 3 on the day, batting against Trevor Rosenthal. Doesn't have much control. His ERA was 4.46. His record was 2 and 4. So here's Lagares, and it's a 1-3, and that's popped up to the left side. Third baseman Jerko makes the catch for the third out. So we go to the top of the 6th now. Mets are leading at 7-1. Yeah, cards and dice, man. Guys speaking my language. Love the cards and dice. Okay, so we go to top of the 6th now. It's going to be Diaz, Holiday, and Jerko against Cologne. Here's the pitch from Cologne. It's a 5-8. That's a fly ball lifted to center field. Lagares, 1 away. Matt Holliday, 3-8, and that's a ground ball right at the third baseman. Flores fields it over to first, gets him by a step. 2 away. And Jed Jerko. Jerko is 0 for 2. That's a 2-4. That's a hard hit ground ball right at Asdrubal, and Asdrubal with the throw out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Cologne in the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th now. It's 7-1 Mets. In the bottom of the 6th, it's going to be Cabrera, Cespedes, and Flores against Trevor Rosenthal. That's a 5-7. That's ball 4. Cabrera walks now. That's 3 walks so far in an inning for Trevor Rosenthal. And it's Cespedes. Cespedes is 2 for 2. He's reached base all 3 times. He's got a home run, a single, and a walk. That's a 1-7. That's a fly ball lifted to deep left field. Back goes the left fielder Wong and makes a nice running catch for the first out. So Cespedes flies out. And Flores, 6-11. And that's going to be a ground ball right at the first baseman, Holiday. It's an X, and he's a 4. So that's a 10 we rolled, and he boots it. So everybody is safe on an error by Holiday. Cabrera to second, Flores on at first with 1 out, and it's going to be Neil Walker. Neil Walker so far is 0 for 3. Here's the pitch from Rosenthal, and that's a 6-12. I don't know if you can see that. 6-12. I'm going to push all these down a little bit so you can, there you go, so you can have more room to roll the dice, because that 6-12, nice to see that there. So that's a fly ball left field X to Wong in left field. He's a 4, and that's a 2. Don't know what that's going to be. And that ball drops in. And coming around to score is Cabrera. And here comes Flores. And the throw, not in time. So it's a 2-run double for Neil Walker, making the score 9. 9-1 Mets. And it's Loney now. Let's see, here goes. James Loney. James Loney is 1 for 2. He walked his last at bat. It's a pitch from Rosenthal, a 6-6, and that's a strikeout. Loney down on strikes for out number 2. First strikeout for Rosenthal. And next is Travis d'Arnaud. 2 outs now, with Walker on at second base. Here's the pitch to Travis d'Arnaud. It's a 5-6. A 5-6, and that's ball 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 walks in, what is that? In an inning and 2/3 for Rosenthal. So runners on first and second, and it's going to be De Aza. Alejandro De Aza, the Mets right fielder. It's a 1-10. That's a ground ball hit right at the first baseman, Holiday. takes it himself, so it's 3 unassisted for the third out. But the Mets pick up 2 big runs on 2 walks, an error, and a double, and now lead it by a score of 9-1. Go to the top of the 7th, and Cologne will be facing Tommy Pham. Say 5-5. Say ground ball shortstop X, and that's Cabrera, who's a 2. A 17 is an out. Nice play by Cabrera. Very accurate throwing arm, and showing that off for us here in Citi Field. That's a 5-10, and that's a catcher's card. Travis is a 3. It's a 12. And that's going to be a pop-up. And that's in the infield. Looks like Darno is going to get that one, and that's out number 2. So Grichuk pops up. And we go to Wong, the left fielder. Normally a second baseman. And that's a 2-7. A 2-7 is a line drive, split die, base hit for Wong. And Wong is on at first with a single, 2 outs now here in the top of the 7th inning. Bartolo Colon on the mound for the Mets. Mets are up by a score of 9-1. Here's Rosario, the catcher, 1-6, and that's popped up. And that looks like it's going to be Flores on the left side. And he makes the catch for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 9-1 Mets. It's going to be Colon batting against Rosenthal, who's still in the game, 2-5, and that's going to be strike 3. Out number 1, and that's the second strikeout for Rosenthal. Lagares coming to the plate, and Lagares is 2 for 4 on the day. Say 3-7, and that's hard hit ground ball right at the third baseman Jerko. He feels it over to first, out number 2. It's going to be Asdrubal Cabrera, and that's a 4-5, and that's going to be off Rosenthal. 4-5 is a hard hit ground ball right at the second baseman Garcia. That's a 17. Garcia is a 3. And let's see what that is. A 17 off a 3. So we have to roll again. We're going to have to roll again. That's an 18. That's a roll again. And that's a 4. And that's going to be an out. So Garcia throws out Cabrera for out number 3. And that's the end of the 7th inning. We go to the top of the 8th inning. And it's going to be the pitcher leading off. So we're going to see a pinch hitter. It's going to be Adams, Matt Adams. It's going to be Matt Adams somewhere here. Looks like I'm missing. Oh wait, okay. There's some more. Like I said, I pull these out. Yeah, I'm missing players here. Let me see. Oh, there. Matt Bowman. Got a lot of pitchers, but no hitters. Johnny Peralta, Carlos Martinez. Oh, there he is, Matt Adams. Okay, Matt Adams is coming to bat. He's a lefty, big lefty. First baseman, power hitter type, and he's going to bat for Rosenthal in the top of the 8th inning. Here's a pitch from Colon to Adams. It's a 3-7. 3-7 is a ground ball right back to Loney, and Loney takes it himself for 3 unassisted. Out number 1 for Colon. We go to the top of the order now in Garcia. Greg Garcia. Mets are up 9-1. Top loaders, they fit perfectly. Huh. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. The same thing. The cards that they use for baseball to protect baseball cards fit the APBA cards. They're using the same ones. Those you get 500 for $20. I think that's what I paid. Pretty good price and I don't protect every single player because not every single player plays. So I protect the main players. And if I have a feeling, you're playing a lot, like if you're the main reliever or a guy that's coming in to pinch hit every game, then I'll put you in a sleeve. But some of the other guys that I'm not getting to, I'm not going to really protect the first time around. I may get to them in the future, and then they'll be used a lot, and they'll be starting. Then I'll protect them that way, just to not, because what happens a lot of times is with APA, I can't fit them back in the envelopes. If I protect every single guy, the cards don't fit back in the envelopes, and then I don't know what's going on. Three, okay, yeah. $3 for 100. I know there's a couple of different prices rolling around out there. I got a really good price on them. I didn't pay very much for them. $3 for 100, and I think I paid like $14. Yeah, I think I paid $14 or $12 for 500 of the APA sleeves. The Strat sleeves can't be used for the baseball cards, so they're a little bit more expensive because I guess they don't sell as many and they're harder to find. Yeah, they send them to me for free. If you buy them by the bundle, like if you just buy 100, they may charge you for but if you buy 5 packs, they're usually 100 in a pack. You can get them much cheaper. And for a couple of different guys, I've posted my contact where I get them. 500 for the Strat ones are, I don't know. Can you get the Strat ones cheaper than $5? What did I pay? Yeah, I paid about 5 times 4. Yeah, I paid about $4 for 100. Card loaders at my friend's local card shop. Okay, sounds cool. Where are we here, guys? Okay, top of the 8th. Out. Okay, it's Greg Garcia. Here's a pitch from Cologne, and it's 2-8, and it's a ground ball to the first baseman, Loney. Out number 2. So back-to-back ground outs to the right side that Loney takes himself. And it's 2-11 off Diaz's card, 2-11, and that's a line drive base hit for Diaz. And Diaz now plays with Toronto as well. He's the shortstop for Toronto. And they replaced him in St. Louis with a kid named DeYoung. And they sent Diaz packing, and now he's the starting shortstop for Toronto. And he's hit a couple of home runs, and he's doing pretty well over in Toronto. So I don't know exactly what was going on with that deal because he had a pretty good 2016 season. Pretty good. Okay. Here, let me show you how he did in 2016. Had a 300 average with 17 home runs in 400 at-bats. 2017, he's back on the team. He's batting .260, and they sent him down to the minor leagues. This is in the first month, I believe. So that was very, very hard to explain. It was a little bit of a mystery. Gary Cohen and Keith Hernandez were both talking about it, that it was, they couldn't figure out what exactly was the problem. He had a tremendous 2016 year, as you're seeing right, here. And the following year, it wasn't like he was over 50 batting 130. He was batting 260, but all of a sudden they sent him down, and they brought up this kid DeYoung, and I guess they said, hey man, we have DeYoung, and DeYoung is cheaper, or for whatever reason they didn't like Aldemis Diaz, who is now in Toronto, and he's doing pretty well over there. I saw him against the Yankees in this past weekend, and he hit a home run, he had a double, and he was looking good. So that's a good young shortstop, a good young prospect that Toronto picked up for probably not very much. So there's 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. The Mets are up 9-1, and it's Matt Holliday. Matt Holliday played with the Yankees last year and made it all the way to the finals, the division finals. Didn't play very much, but he was on the roster, and he's nowhere to be found this year. I think he was a free agent that never got picked up. The Yanks gave him a 1-year contract, played with the Yanks, made it all the way to the World Series, and he hit about 20 homers in 300 at-bats for the Yankees, so he did pretty well. He filled the need of the team. but he's out there like with a lot of other guys, just never found a home this year. A lot of free agents expect, they expect a lot. They're older. Everything is about youth now. Everything is about getting guys as early as possible, and guys are, you know, guys are at 16, at 17, at 18. They've been playing 10 years of baseball, and they've probably been playing at that position for 10 years. It's a lot there. It's it's not like it was in the past, where you had to get guys and then you had to teach guys. Now these guys, man, they have coaches and they have select teams and they have all types of camps that they go to, and these guys are coming in, like guys like Bryce Harper, 18, 19, they're ready to go in the major leagues. But guess what? By the time they're 32, teams are kind of reluctant and they're cautious weary about giving them these long-term contracts, because look what happened with guys like A-Rod. You get a guy like A-Rod at 30 and you give him a 10-year contract, and by 36 he's not doing what he once did. So you got to carry that guy with this huge contract for 36, 37, 38, 39, 45 more years. Why would you ever give a guy a 10-year contract into his 40s? Where I don't know what's going on, because this is stuff that I shouldn't have to tell anybody. Oh yeah, absolutely. It makes absolutely no sense. When I saw this contract that they gave Cano, right? I was upset Cano left New York. I was very upset because he could have been, one of the players, the type of historic players that goes on to have a tremendous career, always having played with the Yankees. He's brought up as a Yankee, should have stayed with the Yankees. But hey, I can't blame Cano, because they offered him a 10-year contract last year. Cano's a great player. But he was a great player, particularly at Yankee Stadium, because that stadium was built for his swing. And what happened? Last year he batted .200 against lefties. Yeah, the guy's making $24 million a year. They gave him a very long-term contract. I'm not sure. I can't remember if it's a 7 or a 10-year contract, but it was a lot of money. Actually, it was a 10-year contract at $24 million a year. I think it was $240 million total. And he's in his 5th year. Last year, he already batted .200. He had 23 home runs. You're telling me I got to pay you $24 million to hit 23 home runs? I mean, almost every guy's hitting 20 home runs. I mean, guys that don't play, you give a guy 300 bats, and they're all swinging for the fences every time. The parks have been made into these just little shoeboxes. If you look, they've created walls, new walls. They put up these walls and shrunk all the parks. So every guy that hits a line drive, most home runs now are line drives, because line drives carry right out of the park. They're so tiny. These guys are way too big, way too powerful. You're talking about 6'4", 6'8" guys, gigantic guys, that are in tremendous shape, just swinging the bat and launching these line drives right out of the park. And it's like, okay, everybody can hit 20 home runs. So why am I paying you $24 million to hit 23 home runs for me? I mean, he should have never been offered that contract. That's what tore him away from the Yankees. Sheriff kind of led the league in homers and they cut his pay. Oh, man, those were the days, right? Those were the days. Okay, what do we got going here? Matt Holliday. Matt Holliday in 2016 hit 20 homers with a .246 average, 382 at bats. Here's the pitch to Holliday from Cologne. 6-3 off Cologne's card, and that's a ground ball right back to Cologne. He feels his position for out number 3. So Cologne goes 7.5 innings so far. And goes 8 innings. Cologne, after 7.5 innings, we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's going to be Cespedes, Flores, and Walker. And Cologne has pitched 8 innings of 1-run ball, and the only run he allowed was an unearned run in the first inning on a hit. He's given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. 4 singles and a double so far. So Cologne is dealing here in tabletop land. And we're going to have a new pitcher now. It's going to be Bowman. Matt Bowman is going to come in to pitch. All right, Bowman, let's look and see what he did. Bottom of the eighth. Hopefully this is the last inning. Bowman was 2-5 with a 3.46 ERA. Here's a pitch to Cabrera. Pitch to Cabrera. And it's a 1-2, and that's a fly ball lifted to right field. Out number 1. That's Grichuk out there. Flores is up. I'm sorry, that should have been Cespedes. I don't know why I have Cabrera there. My mistake. So that's and we're going to pinch hit for Cespedes because that's what I was planning to do. And bringing in Kelly Johnson, that's a 1-2, and that's lined, caught by the second baseman for out number 1. Flores is up next against Matt Bowman, and that's a 3-9er. 3-9 is a fly ball lifted to center field. Tommy Pham. And that was Johnson for Cespedes. Bottom of the eighth. Oh, he's an A there. Okay, and that's a fly ball to center field. Out number 2. And next is going to be Walker, Neil Walker, who is 1-for-4, a 2-run double. Neil Walker, who's now with the Yankees. He's going to be playing a lot of first base, second base, and third base for the Yankees. And the Yankees had a guy that for 2 consecutive years, filled in very adeptly for them. Guy named Torreyes, Ronald Torreyes. Played infield, played outfield, and last year he batted almost 300. And all of a sudden the Yankees picked up all these players. And now he's left out. And I don't know what he's going to be doing. So it's 3-3. Walker, 3-3. And it's a ground ball right at the second baseman. And that's Garcia, out number 3. Top of the ninth. Top of the ninth. It's Colon. Colon's going to stay in there. He may be getting his first complete game of the year. Let's see how he does. He's got to get through Jerko, Pham, and Grichuk. Here's the pitch from Colon. And that's a 5-2, and that's a split die. And that's going to be a double into the gap for Jerko. So Jerko's on with a leadoff double, and that's going to be it for Colon. And that's going to be Addison Reed. You know what? Going to bring in Goodell. Eric Goodell is going to come in, pitch for Colon. So Colon goes 8. And he gives up what? What did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. No home runs. Colon struck out how many? 1. Actually 2. 2 strikeouts for Colon. Walks? I don't think he walked anybody. Got tremendous control. No walks. All right, so here's the pitch to Tommy Pham. So it's Eric Goodell now to Tommy Pham. 5-3. 5-3 is a ground ball back to the pitcher. And Goodell is a 3. That's an 11. Let's see what that turns out to be. 3 on an 11. And that's a ground ball that Goodell handles. And over the third goes Jerko. 1 away now. And it's going to be Randall Grichuk. Grichuk batted .240 with 24 home runs. And that's a 4-4. And that's going to be off Goodell. A 4-4 is a ground ball, weak ground ball to second base. And Jerko's going to score. So Grichuk picks up an RBI, out number 2. And it's going to be Colton Wong. 2 outs, top of the ninth. It's 9-2 Mets. Here's the pitch from Goodell, Eric Goodell. And it's a 3-3 off Wong, and that's lined and caught by Loney for the third out. And that's the ball game. Mets win it Mets go to 56 and 43 in game 99. 56 and 43 now, the Mets. And Cologne is going to get the victory. Gives up 2 runs, only 1 earned run. And Goodell comes in for the last 3 outs. Eric Goodell. No problem, man, Jerry. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and entertaining me. Good to see. Good to hear from all you guys. All right, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll take a little break, say hello to my wife, and then I'm probably going to play another game. I don't know if I'm going to broadcast it, but I want to finish up this 3-game series with St. Louis. And that's what I'm doing. So I want to finish this season because I want to start with the 2017 season, or I want to start with a different season. So I want to finish this season. I got 62 games to go after the next game. I'll have 62 games left. I should be able to finish it over the summer, and I'd love to do that. Take care, man. See you guys soon. Mets win it by a score of 9-2. Take care.